The Ottoman Empire spanned over 600 years and was ruled by some of history's most fascinating yet overlooked leaders. Though names like Suleiman the Magnificent may be well known, many remarkable sultans failed to get the attention they deserve. This video will highlight 10 underrated Ottoman rulers who led their empires to great heights against all odds. Bayezid I ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1389 to 1402 and oversaw a significant expansion of Ottoman territory in Anatolia and the Balkans. However, he is often overlooked in favor of later sultans like Mehmed II and Suleiman the Magnificent. One reason Bayezid may be underrated is that his reign was relatively brief, ending after his defeat and capture by Timur at the Battle of Ankara in 1402. Additionally, the chroniclers of his time were mostly hostile towards Bayezid, portraying him as an impulsive ruler, which influenced later historical views. However, modern scholars have aimed to re-evaluate his rule. Bayezid consolidated Ottoman gains and transformed the state into an empire, laying essential foundations for future Ottoman success. He also promoted trade, arts, and architecture. Though his defeat led to a period of civil war, Bayezid's earlier military and statecraft achievements demonstrate his competence and importance as a ruler in Ottoman history. Mehmed I reigned as Ottoman Sultan from 1413 to 1421. He's often overlooked when people talk about the Ottoman Empire's history. However, Mehmed played a crucial role in reconstituting the Ottoman state after the disastrous civil war following Bayezid's capture. When he became Sultan, the Ottoman Empire lost much of its recent conquests in Anatolia and Europe. Mehmed patiently re-established control over Ottoman territory, recruited talented administrators, and built up the Janissary Corps. He also defeated dangerous rivals who continued to threaten Ottoman authority. While not an ambitious conqueror, Mehmed focused on the essential rebuilding necessary after the interregnum. His peaceful policies allowed the treasury and military to recover. When Murad II succeeded him, the Ottoman state was stable and ready to resume expansion. Thus, while his rule may seem inconsequential next to the great conquerors, Mehmed's pivotal stabilization and strengthening of the post-Civil War empire demonstrates his underappreciated importance. Murad II ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1421 to 1444, and then again from 1446 to 1451. Though a formidable conqueror who expanded Ottoman rule into the Balkans, doubled the empire's territories, and besieged Constantinople, Murad's achievements are often unappreciated. However, without Murad's foundations, Mehmed's celebrated conquests would have been impossible. Beyond just military success, Murad also emphasized reforming the Ottoman government and administration to support continued conquests. He tackled rebellion and economic crisis from previous rulers and left the empire prosperous and stable by prioritizing reform alongside expansion. While Mehmed II completed the long-held Ottoman dream of conquering Constantinople, Murad's savvy leadership and balanced approach to administration, diplomacy, and military growth laid the essential foundations for this seminal moment in Ottoman history to occur. His overlooked but impressive capabilities explain why the empire reached its peak in the century after his rule. Ahmed I ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1603 to 1617, presiding over a period of peace and prosperity. Yet his legacy is overlooked, especially since his reign was relatively short as he passed away at the age of 27 due to typhus. However, Ahmed made impressive cultural and architectural contributions. He built the Blue Mosque, one of Istanbul's most famous monuments. His court also nurtured the Tulip era, a flourishing of culture and art. Domestically, Ahmed reduced unnecessary spending, tackling inflation and reforming tax collection to stabilize the Ottoman economy. International relations thrived as well, with expanded diplomacy across Europe. With an eye for talent, Ahmed appointed gifted figures to governorships and bureaucracy. His balanced focus on the military, economy, and arts left the empire in a strong position for future rulers. Yet with limited expansion, his subtle talents are often undervalued. Nonetheless, Ahmed ruled over a relatively peaceful and culturally rich era in Ottoman history. Osman II ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1618 to 1622. His brief reign ended in his dramatic assassination at the young age of 17. Historians do talk about his assassination, as this was the first time an Ottoman Sultan was executed by Ottoman Janissaries. However, not much is said about his reign. Osman's earlier leadership tends to be overlooked in Ottoman history. Seeking to re-establish authority following weak predecessors, Osman II tried reforming taxes, rooting out corruption, and curtailing the military's role in politics. However, threatened elites staged a coup against him. The nature of his death, especially at such a young age while trying to fight entrenched powers, has often exaggerated characterizations of Osman as incompetent. In reality, though many of his reform aims proved unrealistic, Osman showed initiative and resolve that was unfortunately cut short. Had he gained experience and wisdom with age, he may have been remembered as a transformative ruler. Instead, his potential goes unrecognized while his reign is summarized mostly through his undignified death, rather than his attempted reforms and policies preceding it. Mahmud I ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1730 to 1754. His long reign brought needed stability after tumultuous civil strife and royal purges in the preceding years. A key reason Mahmud I's lengthy reign does not draw more attention is that the Ottoman Empire was not engaged in major military conquests or wars during this time, especially compared to the previous centuries of explosive expansion. With a largely peaceful foreign policy, Mahmud I focused inward, prioritizing reforms and stability over glory abroad. Additionally, coming after the colorful and eventful rules of sultans like Suleiman the Magnificent and Selim the Grim, Mahmud's domestic initiatives can seem dull by comparison. Yet this overlooks just how difficult and important it was to steady Ottoman decline in the 18th century. Mahmud I's stress on economic recovery, infrastructure projects, and restoring authority deserve more credit for sustaining imperial integrity through difficult times. Though he deliberately avoided unnecessary military risks, his cautious leadership allowed social and economic gains, which had long-reaching consequences in strengthening the Ottoman administration, finances, and loyalty of locals under strain. Selim III ruled from 1789 to 1807, presiding over the Ottoman Empire's entry into the 19th century as rising European powers threatened it militarily and economically. A major reason Selim III's legacy as a reformist sultan is overlooked is that his ambitious plans for progress were obstructed and ultimately unfulfilled due to conservative opposition and crises like wars abroad. With few tangible results before his ouster, it was easy to dismiss Selim's ideas as unrealistic. Additionally, the dramatic nature of his deposition has shaped narratives of incompetence and weakness. However, this overlooks the innovativeness and foresight underlying his proposed policies. Selim identified the need for modernization earlier than contemporaries, but the political climate hampered his vision. Many of the military and administrative modernization concepts pioneered under Selim laid the groundwork for successful Tanzimat reforms a few decades later. Though falling short of achieving his own lofty aims, Selim III should still be admired for ambitiously and bravely charting an early course for necessary Ottoman progress in turbulent times. Mahmud II ruled from 1808 to 1839 over the Ottoman Empire. While he undertook sweeping reforms to modernize the military, administration, and economy, his legacy is often underrated, especially compared to peak eras under Suleiman associated with Ottoman glory. A key reason is that Mahmud's early rule was unstable and unimpressive next to the memory of past power facing waning authority abroad, losses in Greece, and rebellion by regional warlords. This is the reason critics usually overlook his weakened reign. However, Mahmud persevered, eliminating threats and then launching major reforms like abolishing corrupt janissaries. Military advances followed. Though he ran heavy debts funding progress and faced an ongoing external crisis, his later transformed state better withstood nationalist pressures. Since dramatic gains occurred after rather than within his reign, credit went elsewhere. Yet without Mahmud's vision and diligence in championing institutional progress, the Ottoman Empire may have declined faster instead of lasting into the 20th century. His uninspiring start and premature death before seeing successes have obscured his transformative role. A major pioneering moment that should have brought Abdulaziz more recognition was becoming the first Ottoman Sultan to travel to Western Europe, representing a dramatic step in diplomatic openness. Given long Ottoman hostility and isolation from Europe, His state visit was hugely significant. However, while fated formally abroad, Abdulaziz was facing a lot of criticism within the empire. Abdulaziz ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1861 until his forced deposition in 1876. Despite enjoying one of the longest reigns of the 19th century, his legacy is overlooked compared to the towering reform ruler before him, Abdul-Majid I. Yet, Abdulaziz continued implementing crucial reforms, building on previous modernization foundations while avoiding costly wars that had strained the treasury. He developed infrastructure, education, healthcare, and commerce. However, the slow reform pace and increasing debt drew both liberal and conservative critics. Ultimately, Abdulaziz fell victim to the young Ottomans who deposed the Sultan. He was found dead under suspicious circumstances a few days after being deposed. His undignified ouster and death soon after unfairly marred his reputation. Ruling in difficult times, Abdulaziz's subtle but steady leadership in diplomacy, infrastructure projects, and handling nationalist and fiscal pressures deserve reconsideration, as key policies enabled the empire to endure despite obstacles. Abdul Hamid II ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1876 to 1909, holding absolutist yet reformist rule. However, evaluations of his exceptionally long reign became fiercely polarized between portrayals as an authoritarian or a great reformer. His firm governance and censorship limited dissent. However, it maintained stability amid external threats and nationalist stirrings. His antagonism toward women in power also clashed with modern gender views, denying female imperial family roles in administration. Though Abdul Hamid asserted strengthened authority, he failed to fully implement the modernization model that he desired. Still, reappraisals highlight Abdul Hamid fostering a proto-nationalism, defending the Muslim world, and developing the last generation of devoted Ottoman bureaucrats before the collapse. While repressive to some extent, Abdul Hamid's reign exhibited more complex reforms and responses to modern pressures than receptive observers allowed during or shortly after his polarizing rule. The 10 sultans highlighted in this video led the Ottoman Empire through critical moments, yet failed to get proper historical credit. Their impressive feats and compelling life stories make them figures who deserve far more attention. By highlighting these overlooked rulers and their skillful leadership, we gain a more complete picture of the Ottoman dynasty's captivating 600-year reign.